Good morning and welcome to Open Conversation on Atlantic Television Network. Open Conversation is the network's flagship political platform through which trending political news, events and stories are discussed with stakeholders. Through these conversations, ATN uses political talks about specific issues, party system and actor to explore hope and engender positive impact to the society. Today on Open Conversation, we'll look at these stories. First, Rivers State. APC CTC chairman criticizes sack, vows to appeal. Still on Rivers State, APC chairman reaffirms 27 lawmakers' membership. And on to Abia State, Assembly swears in Uzodike 9 months after. And on politics, Council of State passes vote of confidence on Tinubu. On National Assembly, each senator earns 1.1 million naira monthly, Ramfak says. And on local government autonomy, Apex Court upholds local government tenure elongation. We are open for adverts, placements, bookings, and commercials. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok Atlantic TV Network 1, and on Twitter Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website www.atlanticnetwork.tv. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll delve right into the show. Do not go away. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Joining me on Open Conversation this morning is Ndamzi Ekulo ESQ. Ndamzi is a legal practitioner and political analyst. Good morning, Ndamzi, and welcome to Open Conversation.
Good morning, Laurentia. Good morning, viewers.
Chairman of the now dismissed caretaker committee of the All Progressive Congress in Rivers State, Tony Okocha, has criticized the recent judgment that dismissed the 7-man caretaker committee of the party. A Rivers State High Court in Port Harcourt on Monday dismissed the 7-member caretaker committee of the APC in the state, led by Okocha, which was appointed by the National Working Committee of the party. Justice Sika Aprioku, in a ruling in a suit filed by Sam Etetegon, Banath Ezemoye, Ezekiel Obom, and others on behalf of the elected APC executives in the state, reinstated the executive led by Emeka Bekele as the legitimate leadership of the party in Rivers State. The court issued a perpetual injunction against the Okocha-led caretaker committee, prohibiting them from interfering with the Bekele-led executive until the end of their 4-year term. In reaction to the ruling in Port Harcourt on Monday, Okocha expressed dissatisfaction with Justice Aprioku's handling of the case, despite petitions alleging the judge's bias and his refusal to recuse himself from the case. He said Justice Aprioku acknowledged that a petition had been written against him in open court, adding that the counsel to the caretaker committee showed the judge an acknowledged copy of the petition against him. Okocha said, "It's not a surprise for us that the judge took that voyage, the voyage to perdition. In law and what we know about the judiciary, when a case of bias is raised against a trial judge before the matter commences, what the trial judge does is to recuse himself from the matter. In other words, he could have said, 'I wash my hands off,' just like Pontius Pilate washed his hands off on the matter that concerned Jesus Christ. Because we had alleged that he was biased and he didn't even hide it, and to pretend as though he didn't see our petition." And the court, the secretary of the party, Chief Eric Wibani, was spotted by the judge and asked to stand up, and he stood up. And the judge, in an open court, told him, "You people went and wrote a petition against me. You people should know that I'm human." Oh. He told the party's secretary in court, in an open court, that we wrote a petition against him. In other words, he had acknowledged that there was a petition against him, that he shouldn't try the matter. It was already decided. He continued to say, and in the course of the proceedings, the senior advocate of Nigeria who represented the party also showed him an acknowledged copy of the petition that was written against him. And he continued. He said he wasn't going to respect it. Don't forget, in my press briefing in Abuja, I said that Justice Sika Aprioku was contracted for a hatchet job against the PDP. Have you people forgotten that I said so? He claimed some persons had met with the judge behind closed doors and agreed with him to deliver a judgment that will embarrass the party at the national level, Okocha alleged. Okocha also accused the state government of manipulating the outcome of the judgment. He further urged the APC members in Rivers State to remain calm and resolute. Ndamzi, a lot of things have been said. A lot of allegations has been leveled against the judge by the SYLCTC chairman of APC in Rivers State. What is your take on this matter and the developments so far?
Okay, thank you very much. We'll start by Honorable Tony Okocha criticizing the judgment of the State High Court. Well, he is within his rights to give his opinion as to issues, as to what emanated from that judgment. But that will not take away the fact that it is a court of competent jurisdiction that have given that judgment. It is a final judgment that he can only appeal. At this point, him criticizing the judgment and what emanated in the court, criticizing the judge, that the judge ordinarily should have recused himself from handling the matter. At this point, all that cannot hold water. The only thing he can do now, which he is within his rights under the law, is that he should appeal the judgment.
Okay.
Yes. In his appeal, all that could be noted in his appeal, that at some point a petition was written against the judge and all that. He can use that to formulate, his lawyers knows what to do. They can use that to formulate issues in the higher court. You know, then secondly, you see why we keep having issues you know, in our various political parties in Nigeria is because politicians in Nigeria have refused to play by the rules. Because if parties play by the rules, we will have less conflicts and disputes as to the internal, who controls the internal machinery of the party. But because of greed, intention to grab power unlawfully, you see them boycotting the rules. You see them even abdicating what the party constitution says. That is the reason we have all these squabbles. How can a national leadership of a party truncate an elected state executive? I mean, with due respect to the leadership of the party, that is, I see that as political rascality. It shows how disrespectful our leaders, our politicians, the crop of politicians we have in Nigeria today can be to the law. Because electoral laws are very strict and they are sui generis. Okay? Politicians always want to cut corners.
You know, this has to do with internal party.
Yes, of course. Yes.
The electoral law of Nigeria may not be binding on political parties because they have their own law, they have their own constitution, right? And then you have the NEC, the National Executive Council of the party, you have the National Working Committee. Now, it ordinarily should be the NEC, that's the highest decision-making body. But it's the National Working Committee that sees the day-to-day running of a party or a union, depending on the organization, in this case, a political party. So some powers in the NEC are vested in the NWC. And in this case, the NWC has sat and they looked at the matters before them and said that Emeka Beke-led executive, you know, they are guilty of anti-party activities. So to a large extent, there will also be provisions in the Constitution that will empower the national body to take action on state executives to call them to order.
Yes, you see, we cannot look at the various political parties' constitution and bylaws without relating them with the Electoral Act. The Electoral Act, it's looking like the mother to the party constitutions, various party constitutions. So why am I saying this? Yes, you made allusion to NEC, National Executive Committee, and the National Working Committee.
National Executive Council.
And the National Working Committee. The NEC, it's the highest policy-making body in the various political parties. Whether they have the powers to make these policies or not, they should make these policies in line with what the law says. If they are making policies that can, you know, enable participants or beneficiaries act unlawfully, then it means the policy shouldn't hold in the first instance. Now, Emeka Beke's leadership in the state APC was an elected one. That is my point of view. And they are being accused of anti-party activity. Choma, let me ask, in Nigeria, which of them is guilty from anti-party activity? Beginning from
which
the
of them
president.
is guilty or who is free?
Who is free from anti-party activity? Beginning from Mr. President down. See, politicians in Nigeria lack character. They lack character. They don't have self-respect. In fact, they have disappointed Nigerians. They have disappointed Nigerians completely, to the fact that when they say a word, we don't take them seriously again. Now, I heard the news this morning, or rather yesterday, that the state APC the state APC chairman, Emeka Beke, is pledging to work with.
That was the next question I wanted. I was about to bring that up, because when you condemn the actions of the National Working Committee. Hold on. When you condemn the actions of the National Working Committee, dissolving Emeka Beke's executive and appointing Tony Okocha as the caretaker committee chairman in Rivers State, one would wonder. Now, the same day that the court reinstated you as the APC chairman of the party in Rivers State, the same day you extend an invitation to the governor and you openly declare that the opposition party is going to work in line and the vision of a ruling party. Make it make sense to me. Is it not an anti-party? I mean, this was a reason in the first place. Your executive was dissolved the same day. Is that not actually, to a large extent, indicting himself and solidifying the reasons that the National Working Committee, you know, dissolved his committee, the reasons they based their decision upon?
Yes, like I said earlier, his action, you know, shows the character of persons at the helm of affairs. I mean, it is shameful. In my own opinion, it is shameful, and I think Chief Beke acted on his own interest, not the party's interest.
Now, if as the chairman or the leader of a party in the state, and he's working according to you in his own interest and not in the interests of the party
in the state.
Because
I can't remember.
What would you have the National Working Committee do?
Of course, at that point, he should face disciplinary sanctions.
Now, isn't not the disciplinary sanctions that led to the dissolving of his executive in the first place?
Yes, see, we need to reconcile this position.
All right.
Yes, an accusation was laid on him, and a disciplinary action was taken by the highest policy-making body of the party.
The second highest, National Working Committee.
The second highest body of the party. And he went to court to challenge that decision. In the instance now, the court have given a final judgment.
Now, if we look at this carefully, the question of jurisdiction, won't it come into play? Because now this is a case of Emeka Beke against the APC national. The APC national body is involved. Apart from Okocha, that is the caretaker chairman. The APC national body is involved. If you recall the judgment of the appeal court in the matter of Justice Wale's judgment and the case of jurisdiction, the appeal court clearly said, in matters concerning the state legislature, in matters concerning the governor and federal institutions and bodies at the national level, the Federal High Court has exclusive jurisdiction over matters of such nature. The question would be, in your opinion, from your experience as a legal practitioner, would you say that the Rivers State High Court has the jurisdiction to entertain a matter bordering on the APC national?
Yes, in commencing such action, you look at where did the cause of action arise? That is, in commencing an action in civil litigation, the first thing a lawyer does is, where did the cause of action arise? The next thing we look at is parties to the action. Thirdly, the jurisdiction of the court. In my own opinion, if you look at where the cause of action arose, the cause of action arose in Rivers State.
Okay.
Yes, so therefore, the Rivers State High Court have proper jurisdiction to entertain that matter. The High Court is the proper place to commence the action, because the National Working Committee of the party
is the National Working Committee of the party. Is it domiciled in Rivers State or the Federal Capital Territory?
At this point, we are looking at APC as a party and not APC as a. APC is not a federal agency. Okay, if it were dispute arising between maybe APC in the state and a federal agency, then we'll be saying, okay,
the
Federal High Court will arise. But in this case, the cause of action arose here in Rivers State.
Okay.
So the Rivers State High Court has jurisdiction to hear their matter.
Okay.
Chief Tony is in his rights, is within his rights to say whatever he wishes to say. And he also has the right of appeal. So he should gather his team of lawyers, let them look at the loopholes in the judgment and come up with a proper appeal.
Now, with the statement of Chief Emeka Beke, the reinstated APC chairman in Rivers State, wouldn't that even further buttress the argument? Do you think these statements he's making is going to even help his matter at the appeal? Do you think it will help his matter? Because the National Working Committee, of course, will also leverage on some of these things that he is. And again, he's going to heat up the polity naturally. How are you a state party chairman and you're saying, whilst you're the opposition, you are pledging allegiance, because that's the meaning of that statement. You're pledging allegiance to a ruling party that you're actually supposed to play the role of opposition to, whom you're supposed to checkmate and also pull your party together, you know, to take over from them in the coming elections in 2027. Wouldn't that, to a large extent, you know, make the National Working Committee, don't they have a case like, okay, this is the reason in the first place you were dissolved, and on the day you were reinstated, you're still even doing the same, showing no remorse?
Yes.
But then, what is the way forward, and how do you see this playing out at the end of the day?
The way forward is simple. The courts will look at what happened. Firstly, were they validly elected as state executive committee members of the party? If they were, what led to their being disbanded, dissolution? Did they actually commit acts that could make the NWC take disciplinary actions against them? If the court, you know, is of the opinion that they have you know, offended their party constitution, then the court will look at what their party constitution says and align it
with the decision of the National Working Committee and then the High Court as well.
Yes, and also it goes ahead to show, you know, the character of people we put in positions of trust. Ordinarily, how would, you know, an opposition party which is supposed to be a watchdog, a watchdog to
pledge
the ruling,
allegiance.
Pledge allegiance. That shows the character of persons, and it should be discouraged.
All right. And then, with that statement, when you put it vis-a-vis Okocha's allegation that the executive arm of government in Rivers State actually manipulated or has a hand in the judgment, you know, I mean, isn't it time that Emeka Beke treads carefully, Chief Emeka Beke treads carefully and be careful of some statements, so that it doesn't look like the accusations of Tony Okocha, you know, has some iota of truth in it. Interesting times ahead of us in Rivers State, still on APC drama. Reinstated chairman of the All Progressive Congress in Rivers State, Emeka Beke, has reaffirmed the membership of the 27 lawmakers of the Rivers State House of Assembly who left People's Democratic Party and pitched tents with APC in December 11, 2023. Emeka Beke, who stated this while addressing journalists immediately after the court judgment that gave him victory over Tony Okocha, who held sway in caretaker capacity for months, reiterated that Martin Amehule and 26 other lawmakers loyal to the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike are valid members of the PDP in Rivers State. Emeka Beke, while reaffirming the participation of the Rivers State APC in the forthcoming local government election in the state, commended the judiciary for upholding democracy in Nigeria. Emeka Beke's executive was dissolved by the National Working Committee of APC, led by Abdullahi Ganduje, on the grounds of anti-party activities during the 2023 general election in November last year. Ndamzi, Rivers State politics appears it's about to be heated up yet again after the lull we have enjoyed, probably by the End Bad Governance in Nigeria protest. But then, APC appears to be stirring the honest nest again. What do you have to say about these statements by Emeka Beke?
Yes, what
Can you substantiate this, actually?
Yes, what I have to say about this statement is simple. You know, there is this principle, you know, this procedure we have in law when a matter is in court. You know, we don't, as lawyers, we are not expected to dig deep or discuss deeply on it, so that we will not be seen as we will not be seen to have preempted what the outcome of the judgment of the court will be. And I think, with due respect to Chief Emeka Beke, he should not arrogate to himself the powers of the court.
Interesting.
Yes, he should not arrogate to himself the powers of the court, because a court of competent jurisdiction have taken a decision, and the adverse party have appealed that judgment to the point of Supreme Court. So if I were chief, I would have, you know, waited till Supreme Court, you know, does its final job on that particular 27 members of the House of Assembly. But at this point, him saying that they are valid APC members, I disagree with him.
Why do you disagree with him?
Yes, I disagree because simply that matter is very contentious.
Okay.
That matter is a matter that will open up new jurisprudence in our country.
Okay, more like a local classicus.
Yeah, it's going to be a locus classicus judgment when we have it, and believe me, it will be a mind-blowing and a surprising one, because I still believe the learned law lords in the Supreme Court have the adequate wisdom to say the truth.
Okay.
Yes, despite the rot in the judiciary, we still have men and women of integrity in the Supreme Court.
Okay.
And I strongly believe they will look at what the law says, because the main point, the onus now, is on the court determining whether truly the defection is known to the law. That is it, because the party, I am aware that a PDP constitution allows the members of House of Assembly to send in their resignation letter to their ward chairman. Yeah, so it is time for the Supreme Court to look at what the Constitution says.
What the party Constitution says.
What the party Constitution says. What does the Electoral Act says. Reconcile it and tell us what the jurisprudence is. And it will be an interesting day when that judgment comes. That I can assure.
Interesting.
But for now, Chief shouldn't have made that comment that the 27 members are APC members. He should hold on till the Supreme Court.
If I may ask, do you understand the can you decode the political undertone of that statement?
Yes, the political undertone is open. It's not something, in fact, it is no longer an undertone. We understand what is playing out in Rivers State.
No, when he said that on the day he was reinstated, because I mean, extending, paying allegiance to the governor, the ruling party, and at the same time saying that Amehule, you know, and others are members of the APC. If you marry the two together with what has played out so far in Rivers State, what do you make of that statement politically? Yes,
politically you will understand that Chief Beke's faction of the APC want to pinch tent with the Rivers State government.
That's APC, PDP.
I wouldn't know what they want to term it, but the body language have shown that, considering the fact that Tony Okocha have been a critical factor of the Rivers State government.
Okay.
He has been in that critical part of, you know, the government, and he doesn't want to be seen as doing what Tony did all this while. So I think he's only trying to wear a new toga if I will use that phrase.
When you say we're in Utoga now, there are many
aligning himself with the current government.
There are many.
See,
there are many pages to this book.
Yes.
If you look at it critically, because now, not just aligning himself, but you recall that the governor at some point came out to say that the party PDP has failed him. Now, also of concern was the detonation of dynamite at the APP secretariat. And some of the APP members were saying because the governor is trying to pitch tents with the APP. Now, when you look at it critically, there are two major political parties, APC, PDP, and Chief Kono Kocha has been a colossus in the sense that he has been a strong voice critiquing the governor at every point in time. In fact, Tony Okocha has something to say every three days or every week, as it were. And then the governor, of course, there was no way he would pitch tent with Tony Okocha as a caretaker chairman in Rivers State. And now that Emeka Beke has been restated, isn't that a leeway, a way of wooing the governor to pinch tents with the APC, as it were?
Yes, you know, I said earlier that politicians in Nigeria lack character, one, and politicians are shameless. I think this is the reason why they should outlaw defections completely, because in my own opinion it is heating up the polity at every given time. You see politicians defecting from one party to the other.
Okay.
So I think it's a right time to call on the National Assembly to outlaw defection completely.
National Assembly, senators not defecting.
Not that if
members,
if the laws are set straight.
Do you think they will set a law that might affect them at the end?
Then why did they outlaw House of Assembly members defecting? See, if we want this country to be good, this 1999 constitution is a rogue constitution. Okay. They should disband it completely and come up with a people's
constitution. And do you think even the people's constitution, wouldn't there be lacuna that can be taken advantage of?
It will be better.
But it will be less, in your opinion?
Yes. Better we have the constitution. We are the people contributed in making the constitution. What we have is just a handout given by
the people's conferred in quotes.
It hasn't.
Has it been?
That is to tell you
what makes you think
to tell you the character of people we have out there. They have deceived Nigerians. They keep deceiving, lying to Nigerians, conniving with the bad eggs in judiciary their way. This has always been the problem. So if we can get it right once and for all, I challenge you that this country will head to a better place.
Fingers crossed, hopefully. We're getting there. Let's go on to Abia State. Speaker of the Abia State House of Assembly, Emmanuel Emeruwa, has sworn in Aaron Ozodike of the People's Democratic Party as the member representing the Aba North constituency in the Abia State House of Assembly. Ozodike, who contested the 2023 House of Assembly election, the PDP was declared the winner by the Court of Appeal in Lagos after the appellate court sacked Destiny Akara Nwangu of the Labour Party. But the Assembly did not swear in the PDP lawmaker even after he received the certified true copy of the appeal court judgment and despite receiving a certificate of return from the Independent National Electoral Commission. In the swearing-in of Ozodike was attributed to an alleged court injunction, thereby dragging the Abia North legislators' wait to 9 months. Also, the appeal court ruling, which sacked the former Labour Party lawmaker Destiny Nwangu, was rejected by party members in Abia State, who protested in the streets of Umuahia. But on Tuesday, Aaron Ozodike was finally sworn in by the Speaker to the jubilation of PDP members in Abia North and other parts of the state. It will be recalled that Uzodike, while speaking to journalists in Umuahia in April, dismissed being coerced to join the Labour Party as a condition of running as a legislator. Joining me on Open Conversation is Barrister Haya King. Barrister Haya King is a legal practitioner and human rights advocate.
Thank you.
Welcome, Barrister. It's a pleasure to have you on Open Conversation.
It's a pleasure being here. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Haya King, what is your take on this story? Uzodike and Abia State House of Assembly. It's been a long battle.
It's simple. Like I have always said, Nigerian politicians, they hardly do what is right. They hardly do what is constitutional. They hardly do what is legal. They only do what is political. And what is political is usually unconstitutional, is usually illegal, is usually immoral, is usually against the law. So generally speaking, they don't do what is legal. They don't do what is right. They do what is constitutional, what is political. Well, otherwise, I don't see any why. I don't see any reason why he should be delayed for an upward of 9 months before he was sworn in, because he won the election and by the court. The court have said so. And as a legal practitioner, I will not say that I will not want to criticize the court judgment. When you have got to the last lap, when you get to the last lap, it's only God you can pray to. But if you are still at the high court level, I can criticize. I can say, okay, let's wait for the appeal until you exhaust your appeal. Once the appeal is done, I rest my case. So having exhausted that appeal, it was unnecessary to wait for 9 months. But like I said, they do what is political. You had the other part you read. They said that they were coaxing him to join the Labour Party. I won't be surprised if that happens after now.
All right. Well, so you're expecting that there may be a defection?
Oh, yeah, of course. But of course, if it was me, I would defect to Labour Party because Labour Party is the majority in the state. You want me to suffer? That's the truth about it. Okay. I mean, whichever party I am, I'm my people.
You just said by Haya King that whatever is political is immoral, it is wrong, it's unjustifiable. And now you're also saying,
politically now.
Okay, now as a politician,
I said if I am in that house,
so
that is what they are doing. Because if that man does not defect to Labour Party, I can bet you that he will not get his payment, he will not get his he will not get anything. They will choke him until he will join. That's what all of them does. APC does it, PDP does it. So what is it? I said, so if I am there, I am here now. That's why I'm talking the way I'm talking. If I am there, I won't talk this way until something happens. Until I had my colleague here when I came in talking about the constitution, the rogue constitution, until a lot of things are changed in the constitution. There won't be headway for Nigeria. Right. There is no Nigeria, as far as I'm concerned. There is no. I think it wasn't Nnamdi Kanu that described it as a zoo. I described it as a jungle. Zoo is even better because in the zoo, all the animals are cave and they are guided. There are rules, but in the jungle there is no rule. Nigeria, is there any rule? There is no rule. The people in the government today, were they not villains yesterday? Were they not people that were accused of corruption, that was arrested, that was to be prosecuted, that was to be sent to jail? Today they are the one holding all the people. The country we are talking about. So Nigeria is a jungle, not even a zoo. It is a jungle where the antelope can be passing. The lion don't look at it. Hey, I'm here. Hey, where are you going? Come, I want to chop. You don't hold the antelope and just grab him and eat him up. That's what we have in Nigeria. That's what we have in Nigeria. It's not a zoo. A zoo is better because a zoo, the antelope is in his cage, the lion is in his cage. In fact, the antelope and the lion can be opposite. And you'll be looking at the lion, hey, lion, you'll be playing with the lion. And nothing will happen. The lion cannot bite him. Say, hey, lion, how are you this morning? He will bring his hand and say, lion, let me shake you. And he will take his hand off again. And nothing will happen. But in the jungle, let the antelope try that in the jungle. He will grab him and finish him one hand. That is Nigeria for you. It's very, very unfortunate. Like the man talked about, if I know, let me say this. If I know that if I get to that house, I maintain my position and remain a PDP member, nothing will happen to me, I will remain. But if you go there, my brother, they will seize your money, seize your salary, seize everything, frustrate the life out of you. And by the time you are facing is that what you want? If you now have a BP, you die. Is that what you want to die? No, you join the party in the place and go on with Nigeria. That's Nigeria for you. But if you know the constitution is amended and the man knows nothing will happen, I will remain a Labour PDP member in the house where they have a Labour people and nothing will happen, and you will remain there. I will stay. I will do that. But if I know that my life is threatened, who is a brave soldier? He's the one that fights and run away. You fight another day. So if you join them, then you'll be able to be safe. But again, let me say this, because people knows me before now. I have had this philosophy that if you cannot beat them, don't join them. People are surprised I'm saying this opposite. I'm saying it with regard to the circumstances of Nigeria. If you cannot beat them, don't join. That's why people like us are staying out. I am not there. Because but you know that if I get there, I will join it. If I go there, win an election, get to that house, and the majority in that house is the opposition party, I will join. So that is why if you cannot beat them, just remain in order not to taint your integrity. Exactly. But if I get there, I will do that same thing. To be frank to you, I will do it. All right. Very frank statement out there by Barrister. But then, Damzi, what do you have to say to that? Barrister, by the way, said that if he gets there, if he was in the position of Uzodike, probably he will join the Labour Party in order to, easily blend in. But then, what you have always upheld integrity, and you have stood your ground critiquing the polity. Will you still, toe the same path with Barrister Hayaking?
No, with due respect to my learned senior here, I will not toe that path. The reason I won't do that is because the action of the Abia State House of Assembly, in my opinion, is a legislative rascality and a pure disrespect and disregard to the rule of law. Because I wonder how a court at that appellate level have given a judgment and you refuse to swear in the man for a number of months. That is an aberration. It's a total disregard and disrespect even to the constituents of that particular
I was actually coming to the constituents because I wanted to ask,
it's a total disregard.
Can the constituents do something? Because you recall in those states, something similar happened. And for the where some House of Assembly members were to be sworn in by, let's say, 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. and some persons were sworn in by 5 a.m. And for the lifetime of that State House of Assembly, the others were not sworn in. The question would be, because when things like this happen, the question in my mind would be, what of the constituents? Because what it means is that for the number of years, or in the case of Abia State, for 9 months, that constituency did not have representation.
That's it.
That constituency did not have the presence of government, right, from the legislature. They were not part of making laws, nothing at all. So why is it that the constituents, as it were, are illiterates, political illiterates? They don't know what to do. They don't know how to get their legislatures, people that they voted, to do the right thing. Or is it pure political apathy, not caring? I mean, we've done our part, the rest is left for you. Where are the constituents of Uzodike? Why did it take this long?
Thank you very much. In my opinion, I will be speaking my mind now.
All right.
I am aware that so many Nigerians, in fact, are fed up with the political happenings in the country. And also, I am also aware that so many are not knowledgeable as to what and how to go about asking their rights. And some have just put up this lackluster attitude of, I don't care whatever they do, they are still the same people. You see, Nigerians have failed to ask for what belongs to them. And our requests most times are not issue-based. Issue-based in the sense that we don't know how to channel these demands. The constituents are within their rights to protest legally at the complex of the assembly, demanding to know why their representative was not sworn in. But we didn't hear any of them do that. Now, you see, for 9 months, that constituency had no representation. The man was not paid his entitlements, his allowances, his salaries, and possibly they may have shared constituency projects in the house. You see that that particular constituency now have been denied their rights. So people should be aware.
Can the constituents take the State House of Assembly to court?
Of course they can.
Probably, let's say that Uzodike himself is not a politician in the real sense of the word.
Possibly he's just being consumed by the fact that Labour Party is in the majority. Possibly. See, it shows the fact that our leaders have no respect for our laws. Yes, we know we have a very bad constitution. We have very, very tricky electoral act and very shabby way of playing politics in Nigeria. But that does not mean that rules, the ones we have, shouldn't be obeyed.
All right.
Just like Barrister Haya King stated here that, you know, the house is you know, a Labour Party is in majority in the house. That if the man doesn't comply with decamping to their party, he will be frustrated. Yes, but if he stands his ground, he cannot be frustrated because he is legally elected. We should learn how to ask for our rights.
All right. Barrister Haya King, you've been laughing. What is so funny about this?
It's so funny because my learned friend is talking like a realist, really what should be. Okay. But unfortunately, we are not in a place where what should be holds sway. We are in a place where what should not be is what is always is. So that is the country we find ourselves. I told you it's a jungle. In jungle, there is no rule in the jungle. It's so unfortunate. Of course, I was wondering what would the constituents do? Now, if the constituent had gone to court, it would take another 4 years. The man's tenure will finish, this administration will end before it will end. Oh, but of course, that's the truth about it. Yes, I'm a lawyer. You are surprised I'm saying that. But that is what it is. I am saying that because it's not just the lawyers that delay matters. We don't have enough judges. I was talking with a judge the other day, and he told me that the thing has gotten to the extent that there is a quarrel in the house now. That from the chamber, from the court chamber, to the personal chamber, to the house. In fact, that now he has moved the chamber to the house. Upstairs, that is where he stays. In fact, if he's eating, there is one book here. If this, I say, but that is what it is. So the judges are overworked. That aside, the problem is that in Nigeria, somebody can do whatever he likes and get out with it. It's unfortunate. Otherwise, why would somebody who has won an election got into the apex court, and I mean apex court, the last court, where the decision, after that court, it is God you pray to. And you kept him for 9 months. Like, that's why I said, I wouldn't be surprised after, he was talking about people holding their ground, my learned friend. Who has held his ground and succeeded? Mention one person, one legislature, one governor, who has ever held his ground and succeeded? Nobody. Maybe when you respond,
yes,
you tell me that.
I am aware in 1999.
Okay.
Senator Magnus Aben won House of Assembly election under the platform of APP.
Yes.
He stayed in that house, even though there were 2 of them. He stayed in that house till the expiration of that first tenure. It was the second tenure that he defected.
Why did he defect?
No, but he held his ground.
Let me tell you.
He defected because he had an offer from the government to become a commissioner.
And Damsey, what they know now, they didn't know it then. Now you can't try it.
No, the system have gone so
bad.
That
time is the olden days.
The system
that thing we're talking about is comparable to like 100 years ago, 200 years ago. It can't happen now. You're talking about 24 years now.
No, the rot is terrible now. I can admit.
Stood his ground. You can't stand your ground in that house. One of my relations was in the last house under Wike. He came up from another party, first tenure. He told me what he went through. There was no allowance, there was no vehicle, there was nothing. I told him, my brother, defect now. You have to go to them. Eventually defected. That was when everything was presented. Nine. Your sons don't come that thing. Okay, come. They now gave you whatever. That is not just Rivers State.
Nigeria is
even at the Federal House of Reps. Even at the House of Reps. I have been talking about whether the House of Reps members can defect. They cannot defect. It's the same thing. It's the same law that you cannot move from
one party to the other.
Yes. They have, you see, I heard you saying that section 109, the famous section 109 about defection. Why did that section come in place? That section came into being because of defection, to stop defection, to make sure people don't defect. And yet, Rivers State House of Assembly members, 27 of them, defected. That's why I told you they don't do what is legal. They don't do what is constitutional. Listen very well. They don't do what is legal. They don't do what is constitutional. They don't do what is moral. They don't do what is right. They only do what is political. And what is political is against the constitution, is immoral, is illegal, is not right. That is what they do. They see that section. Now, one of their the new restored chairman is that saying that they are members of. No, just mentioning because I didn't contribute to that. They are now members of APC, and they are saying we are not members of APC. Why didn't you see that section? So what that section wants to cure is what you went openly, brazenly, with your eyes open. You went and violated it, and now you are saying I'm not PDP, I am APC. What kind of people are these people?
All right, Barrister Hayakin,
that's the problem.
We are already past that story. I wouldn't want us to go back.
No, I just took a bite.
I know you couldn't help it. I understand. President Bola Tinubu on Tuesday received a vote of confidence from members of the Council of State, comprising former presidents and past heads of state, as well as former chief justices of the Federation. Tuesday's Council of State meeting is the first presided by Tinubu since he assumed office. The council members condemned the recent End Bad Governance in Nigeria protest, which Dele Alake, the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, described as having a sinister motive behind, with the sponsors allegedly targeting a change in government. Alake spoke while briefing State House correspondents of the outcome of the meeting. Former Presidents Goodluck Jonathan and Muhammadu Buhari were present at the meeting, while Yakubu Gowon and Abdulsalami Abubakar joined virtually. Ex-President Olusegun Obasanjo neither attended physically or joined online. Ndamzi, I need your reaction first before I go to Barrister Hayakin. What do you have to say about this story?
Baba Shege, he didn't come.
Honestly speaking, it shows how our leaders, our fathers, those whom Nigerians are looking up to, can be disappointing. How would the former president and in fact the entire council look at Tinubu's government and pass a vote of confidence? It shows they are not even aware what the common man is facing out there in the streets. That is it. And it also shows how corrupt their minds are. Fathers who are no longer speaking the truth, even at this age, is quite disappointing. When I read that news yesterday, I shook my head. I said, look, this country is heading nowhere. Ordinarily, that should be a ground to look at Mr. President and tell him, Mr. President, these are your flaws. You made mistakes here. Nigerians are crying. Do this, do it this way. But they didn't even come up with anything reasonable. They just went there to share money as usual. This is my opinion. And I owe none of them no apology.
All right. Barrister Hayakin. Strong words by Barrister Ndamzi, but let me hear what you have to say about it.
You see, yes, Tinubu government is not doing well. I have argued somewhere and I said, does it mean when Tinubu was campaigning and he said in his mind now, I'm not a mind reader, I'm just imagining, and he was saying to himself when I get to this position, I'm going to make sure Nigerians suffer. I'm going to punish them. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to make dollar. He came in at 600 May last year. 800 today is 1.7 million for $1,000. You know, and all that. Was it his intention? Is it his blueprint to make sure he punishes Nigerians? And I think I answered that question and I said I don't think so. But circumstances beyond his control has made him to find himself where he is today. He's clueless. That's the word I will use, clueless. He doesn't know what to do. But it's not like some other countries where people prepare over the years to be leaders, to get into political positions. They know what they want to do for their country. Not the same thing with Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Sorry about that, but that's what I think. That's why he's confused. But did he say he wants to come and intentionally punish Nigerians? I don't think he has that mindset. But the circumstances under which he found himself, the circumstances of the election, how he was elected, and all that, there are interests that needs to be satisfied. And this interest too, some of them may be working against him also. Then don't also remove the international connection, the international people. Why did they quickly recognize him, irrespective of all the allegations against him? But what Tinubu would have done, like my colleague here said, that old men that ought to do the right thing. He would have said, look, I am close to my grave at 80 something. You are counting your days. He would have said, I will do something that Nigeria will remember me for. I will do something that nobody has done before by dismantling some of these hurdles that is making our economy. There is nothing Tinubu can do. You will buy fuel 1,005, Nigerians. You are going to buy fuel 1,005. I will tell you why, just in brief. We don't refine. They refine this fuel outside, and dollars is running. Dollar is now faster than Usain Bolt. Dollar is the fastest man in the world. Nigeria currency compared to dollar is the fastest man in the world. What's the fastest man? I think 10 seconds. Is it 10 seconds?
Yes.
For 100 meters. So dollar is running 5 seconds. And you are going to buy, the economy is going to get worse because there is no plan. The cabals may not allow the president to do some of these things, to get some of these things done. The same thing they did to Jonathan. We gave him advice. The same thing they did to Buhari. We also gave him advice. In fact, at a point, Buhari was hurrying to leave because he was overwhelmed. When you are not out there, when you are out here, it's easy to criticize like the way I'm talking. But when you get in there, is another ball game. Yes, the same thing may happen to me if you give me Nigeria now to be president of Nigeria. It may happen to me. But if I decide to say, if I die, I die, I want to do something different. Let me tell you what Abraham Lincoln did. The Emancipation Proclamation decree to completely free the blacks. The slave trade was abolished close to 100 years, but nobody signed it into law. They were still dealing on slaves, still perpetrating that act. Abraham Lincoln himself had slaves. When he came into the Oval Office, he saw that document, old document. He signed it. He said, I will sign. They criticize him. People criticize him. He said, I will sign. That is why if you check all over the world, the blacks, the black Americans, they value Abraham Lincoln more than any other human being. But other people saw it. Other presidents saw it. It was there in the Oval Office. All you needed to do was just append your signature. Many of them refused. But Abraham Lincoln came. He was involved. He had slaves, but he signed the Emancipation Proclamation decree. I have it in my office emblazoned. If you come, you read it. He signed it. He said, I will sign this one. And they wanted to. That is even part of why he was assassinated by John Booth. They killed him. And the man said, but today, Abraham Lincoln is honored more than any other American president. So something like that is what Tinubu would do. Telling me that you are giving him a vote of confidence in this present circumstance is political. Like I told you, they do what is political, not what is right. Do you want the president to go there and tell him he didn't do it so that they will cut off their money? Begin to investigate them. Is that what you want? They will tell him what he wants to hear. That a politician told me, he said, politicians, the things they want to hear, tell them that thing. If you don't tell them that thing, you are not loyal. I said, he said, yes. So don't tell them the truth. Tell them what they want to hear. That thing that they want to hear, once you tell them, then you are loyal. Oh, good guy. That is what he wants to hear. But the truth is that we all know. How can the economy function where you are our crude oil, you take it to go and refine outside, and you are telling me, I saw on the television now, the Tinubu has denied the 600 naira per liter claim that they say he denied it. How can Tinubu sell for 600 naira? How can he sell for 600 naira? Yesterday was 890, 980. I bought yesterday night, and when I was buying it, I bought that same place 800 like how many days ago when I got there. So I said by next week I'm coming. It should be 1,000 something. Man, you buy it. There's nothing you can do about it. If you listen to me, Tinubu can come now and say, call me the NNPC people, call me the Minister for Petroleum. The refinery must work. That refinery must work in 3 months, and the refinery will work. Put his foot down. Leave politics. I've asked Tinubu before, what money do you need? Is it golden watch? Is it golden necklace? Waiting Tinubu need money, waiting Tinubu want carry money do. What does Tinubu want again as a person? There is nothing. If he betters Nigeria for us, if Tinubu changes Nigeria for us, we will remember him 2,000 years from now. He will be discussed as the father of modern Nigeria, the man that changed Nigeria. How do you do it? You have to make our things to begin to work.
All right.
Telephone is working. Do you know why it's working? Yeah? It's working because it's wireless. Why is electricity not working? Electricity is not working because it's wire. If your electricity today, if there is a new invention where electricity has to do with wireless, electricity will work in Nigeria. It's not working. They said, oh, we brought a GSM is working. I say it's not working because Nigeria want it to work. It's working because there is nothing they can do about it, and the thing must work. So it's working. It's wireless. Where is the wire to put inside to work? So for the things to change. Now, are we farming? We are not farming. And you want to buy a bag of rice, it will not come down. So things must be done. There must be plan, 1 year plan, 2 years plan, 3 years plan. Once that is done, you begin to say, there is hope. For now, there is no hope in Nigeria. What they have just done is just want to tell him what he wants to hear.
All right. Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission has revealed that each member of the Senate collects a total monthly salary and allowances of the sum of 1,063,860 naira. The breakdown of the cumulative take-home pay includes basic salary of 168,866 naira 70 kobo. Motor vehicle fueling and maintenance allowance of 126,650 naira. 42,216 naira 66 kobo for personal assistance, domestic staff, 126,650 naira, entertainment, 50,660 naira, utilities, 50,660 naira, newspaper periodicals, 25,330 naira, wardrobe allowance, 42,216 naira 66 kobo. House maintenance 8,443 naira 33 kobo, and constituency allowance 422,166 naira 66 kobo respectively. Chairman of Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, Muhammad Bello Shehu, made the disclosure on Tuesday in a reaction to the recent controversy surrounding the actual salaries and allowances payable to members of the National Assembly of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Recall that former President Olusegun Obasanjo had a few days ago alleged that the federal lawmakers determined their monthly salaries and allowances contrary to extant laws. Also, a one-time senator of Kaduna Central, Shehu Sani, had once publicly disclosed that each senator collects monthly running cost of 13.5 million naira, in addition to the monthly 750,000 naira prescribed by the commission. However, chairman of the commission, which is empowered by law to fix salaries and allowances of political office holders, said some allowances are regular while others are non-regular. Regular allowances are paid regularly with basic salary, while non-regular allowances are paid as at when due. For instance, furniture allowance 6,779,200 naira, and severance gratuity 6,079,200 naira are paid once in every tenure, and vehicle allowance 8,105,600 naira, which is optional. It's a loan which the beneficiary has to pay before leaving office. The Commission also wishes to use this opportunity to state that any allegation regarding other allowances being enjoyed by any political public office holder outside those provided in the Enumeration Amendment Act 2008 should be explained by the person who made the allegation. To avoid misinformation and misrepresentation of facts capable of misleading citizens and members of the international community, the Commission considers it most appropriate and necessary to request Nigerians and any other interested party to avail themselves of the opportunity to access actual details of the present remuneration package for political, public and judicial office holders in Nigeria, published on its website www.rmafc.gov.ng, he stated. He, however, acknowledged that RAMFAC does not have the constitutional powers to enforce compliance with proper implementation of the official remuneration package. A lacuna, he said, was being addressed by the National Assembly. Let me start with you, Barrister Hayaking.
In fact, I was aspiring to go to the National Assembly. I will not go again with this kind of pay. The payment is too small now. Why would I receive such payment? I will not want to go again. Even if you are on appointment, I won't go again. What about that? How can that money sustain you? It cannot sustain you now with the people I know.
All right, so the question would be, if this is their remuneration, how do you explain the lavish lifestyle of senators?
It's impossible now. It's an unfortunate situation. The people in this revenue and fiscal allocation committee and all that commission, these people are supposed to be civil servants who people like us are fighting for, agitating for, that these people should not take plenty of money so that they will have money for themselves and all that, to also increase their own salary. And it's the same people defend them. It's the same people that are coming out to defend. How can somebody imagine this kind of thing? How can? And look, but again, I like what the guy did. I like what they did. I like what the Fiscal Allocation Commission did. And they did what we call a exemption clause. They exempted themselves. They say, although they call that an exemption clause. They call it exemption clause. They all say no. The actual implementation.
No, let me quote him again.
The last paragraph.
Hold on. Yes, let me. He said he, however, acknowledged that RAMFAC does not have constitutional powers to enforce compliance with proper implementation of the official remuneration package.
Definitely.
And he said a lacuna, he said, was being addressed by the National Assembly. Have you at any point heard or seen the National Assembly during plenary address this lacuna?
For where? How can they do that? They don't do that. What I'm trying to say is that the man knows that everything he stated from the beginning is,
and he used the last statement.
He used the last statement to justify whatever. He said, "Look, this is what it should be, but we don't have power to enforce." So that one that you don't have power to enforce, tell us that one. You didn't tell us that one that you don't have power to enforce that they are doing. You didn't tell us that one. And the man who has been in Senate before, that I believe him so much, Sheikh Usani, he said 13 million, and you are coming to tell me 1.something million. What am I going to do in the House of Assembly? I'm not going to do. What am I going to do?
I thought, Barrister Hayaking, you said that politics should be made uninteresting and unattractive.
That is what I'm saying now. If we be clear, I said so.
If that is the package,
that is
the
not
second
true.
question would be, why do elections cost so much? Why do people put in so much money?
We should ask the chairman of Mohammed Bello. We should ask him. We should ask him. But the man exempted himself completely. We call it exemption clause. Say it not concern me. The actual implementation. So that one that they are implementing You didn't tell us how much, whether it's 13 point something million or 15 million or what the one
he did not say actually.
He didn't tell us.
All right.
No, the actual implementation.
No, what he said was, let's use his language. He said proper.
Okay, proper
There's
implementation.
a difference between actual.
No, there was actual. There was an actual.
No, hold on. No.
Okay, read again.
There is a difference between actual implementation and proper implementation. He said that the RAMFAC does not have constitutional powers to enforce compliance with proper implementation of the official remuneration package.
Exactly.
Now, let me come to you, Ndamzi. What do you have to say to that?
Yes, I think I would not use the word lie, but I want to challenge the chairman of Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission. He should make the audited accounts of payments public to Nigerians to see.
Yeah.
With that, we will be able to ascertain whether he's telling us the truth or lie, because definitely all the monies paid out are there. He should release the audited accounts to Nigerians. He should post the audited accounts to that website he referred Nigerians to.
And if he posts it and it actually reflects what he has said.
It cannot be. He should do that. See.
No, let me answer you, Laurencia. If he had to post it and it reflects what they will do further probing.
We will do further probing.
Further forensic
there are forensic analysis.
I have already told you that the proper implementation does not lie with him.
He did not tell us about the constituency project funds. So that shows that
the
what Obasanjo said.
Project, he said, is 422,000.
But I and you know that is not true.
166, and that is a constituency project for senators. But then
what I saw there is allowance, constituency allowance,
not project.
Even with
allowance.
Okay.
So why? See, we know that the National Assembly members have funds they deduct from their own account, they don't make public.
Where did padding come from?
That is where padding came from. And Obasanjo have accused them publicly. They should, in fact, we are challenging the National Assembly members. They should audit their accounts and make public.
If at least this money passes through the banks.
Yes, the money passes through the banks. Let us see their audited accounts.
Paychecks.
We will merge it with what Senator Shehu said and what former President Obasanjo said, together with what REMFAC chairman said. Then we will know who is saying the truth.
Why the REMFAC chairman to come and say the truth? They remove him.
Why these people think that they can continue playing with Nigerians, joking with Nigerians?
If the REMFAC man comes and now says that this is the actual fact, the announce is removed the next day, is that what you want? His children will not leave this place. I told you it's a jungle.
Then why would he continue to tow in this part?
To protect his job.
I wonder how his children will feel seeing that their father is working on deceiving Nigerians.
To protect his job.
Even I suppose when his children read that news, they will be disappointed in their father.
Why would the children be disappointed?
Yes, of course. I and you know that office is so attractive. That is why they can kill anybody.
Have you ever seen the child of a politician who has ever come out to disrespect their father or, tow a different path? Mention one.
Even though they may not come out publicly to say it, we still have people with conscience. And we know that some of us, if our fathers do something wrong, we can meet him in the bedroom and say, but daddy, this thing you did is wrong. I believe, see, people should stop joking with Nigerians. Nigerians are already pressed. Why would they continue towing this part of deceiving Nigerians, lying to Nigerians? I mean, it's quite disheartening. That man should hide his face in shame.
Is it a question, when you say deceive Nigerians, are Nigerians even asking the right questions? That would be the question I would ask. Are Nigerians asking the right questions? Are Nigerians seeking to even know as it is? Because a lot of things happen, a lot of bills pass on the floor of the House. And you don't really get reaction like you would want to get, or one would expect, that these bills are directly affecting the masses, probably positively or negatively. Even if it's a positive bill, you don't see Nigerians applauding. If it's a negative bill, you do not see Nigerians condemning it. So as it is right now, are Nigerians just disconnected completely from the political happenings in the country?
Nigerians are fed up. I think Nigerians are really fed up. My friend talked about, we were talking about a protest. The protest, they kill you. Protest, they kill you, they hunt you. Over, I think, 80-something, about 200-something persons are in detention across Nigeria as we talk now because of that protest. So we have gotten to that level where, hey, if you talk, you get into trouble. So a lot of people are disconnected. I just say, anything when I like, when I go do. I don't want, my life is more important, because you have not even eaten well. Where is the strength to go and protest, stand on the road for hours, or and all that and all that and all that and all that? So it is a problem of, and it's a very dangerous situation. It's a very dangerous one for people to just keep quiet, bottle up. When they will explode, oh my God, when they will explode, people are bottled up, choked. The day it will explode, was I told them about the protest. I said, you don't plan protest. You don't plan protest. You don't plan revolution. It just happens. You just wake up, it's happening, you just see. And that is what will happen next. That is exactly what will happen next in Nigeria. You will just wake up, you just see it erupt. That is what it is. You plan protest, one will give notice. How can I give you notice? I want to protest and you leave me. That is why they were all choked up and nothing happened. Somebody was asking me the other day, said, what has come out of this protest from abroad? My cousin from abroad, we are talking. He said, what has come out? You people protested. I said, but I told them that the protest would not yield any result. But let us just try it and see. I supported it. I protested. I was part of it. So, but I knew that it was not going to yield any positive result, because you don't plan these things. Go and check the Arab Spring. Arab Spring just happened. Enter this country, enter this country, enter this country, enter. That was how it happened. Nobody sat down to plan it. We are going to protest on the 1st of October. It doesn't work that way. And that is where Nigeria is going. People are now bottled up, keeping quiet, angry, mad, but they are waiting for the slightest opportunity. That's what they are waiting for. Slightest opportunity. Come. Don't say what has not happened before cannot happen. Because what has not happened before has happened before. Did you hear that quote? I said, don't ever say that what has not happened before cannot happen. Because what has not happened before has happened before. That's it.
You know, the thing is, like, you know, like in the proverbial cats, Nigerians appear to have more than 9 lives. And Nigerians, to a large extent, have what you call remarkable resilience. Remarkable resilience. So Barrister Haya King is saying that it might just happen, it might just erupt. But Nigerians have known to endure even under the most unfriendly and harsh circumstance. But then, what do you think, Ndamzi?
Because you force them to endure. You mandate them to endure. You subdue them to endure. Don't worry. When they have slightest opportunity, you will see.
Isn't that this end-bad governance in Nigeria, wasn't that an opportunity?
Wasn't enough.
If you say it was not enough, then
police was dictated to cordon everywhere. Guy, no, it wasn't enough. See, you don't plan something. It's a spontaneous thing. Check all the revolutions in the world. It's spontaneous. You don't plan it. No, if you plan it, it doesn't work. It's spontaneous. How can you be planning? It's only a tree that you sit by the tree trunk and you are sharpening knife to cut it. It will just be looking at you. You can't sharpen knife where human beings are standing to and they will be watching. No, it doesn't work that way.
All right.
Yes, it happens like an ill wind. Ill wind just comes. Tsunami, wind, whatever you call it. Everywhere is just gone. That's it.
All right. Ndamzi, very quickly, what you have to say as we conclude.
Okay, thank you. What I have to say as a concluding statement is that the president should have pity on Nigerians and review his policies. Okay. One bad policy he made was to float the naira. When you float your currency, it means that the market forces determine your exchange rate.
Removal of subsidy and floating naira at the same time.
These are the two bad policies he made that put Nigeria. We know that the system, the economy had been in a rut already, but he came, dropped those two policies and scattered everything. So he should do a rethink.
All right.
In the interest of Nigerians and also in his own interest, just like my Oga here has stated before, that this should be a time for Tinubu to do something good so that Nigerians, posterity, will forever remember him.
All right. Thank you so much, Ndamzi, for coming on Open Conversation. It's always a pleasure having you.
Thank you, Lauren.
And thank you, Barrister Hayakin.
Yes, let me add.
All right.
Like what he had just said. Those two policies were wrong. But there are monetary policies that experts have said it works, but we are not prepared.
Exactly.
We didn't prepare for them. Assuming we had a refinery working, and you said you are removing subsidy, so we refine our local one and circulate, then we can still be selling fuel at a lower price. Not when you take outside to go and refine with dollars, buy with dollar, refine with dollar. It doesn't work. The floating of the naira. I also told you about the international connection. These are people that the IMF and the World Bank will come and give you advice and force you to. They are the ones that destroy this thing. They are the ones that told you, oh, take this advice. And they are not taking such advice. Right. I went to Google, I went to check. United States, their highest denomination of currency is $100.
All right, Barrister.
But let me tell you, before 1969, January 1969, 70, United States used to have $1,000, $5,000, 10,000 1 bill.
All right, Barrister.
500.
You have exceeded your closing statement.
And yet they abolished it.
All right,
it was not good. And that is what we are doing. Having abolished it over 50 years ago, we are now doing it in 50 years' time. Something that they said is not good 50, 60 years ago.
All right.
Nigerians are doing it today. So
all right.
How can we move forward?
All right, Barrister.
Wake up and put your foot down and be the father of Nigeria. I don't know any other political.
All right, Barrister, thank you so much. Barrister Hayakin.
Do something now.
All right, Barrister Hayakin. We are actually out of time, and this is where we wrap it up on this episode of Open Conversation. We are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials: Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network; Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1. Watch us live on our websites, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. Do not forget, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching. I am Ogu Laurentia. Transition News comes up next. Do not go away.